Welcome back to Game 6 of the World Series. Now let's go to the voice of Yankee Stadium since 1951, the one and only public address announcer, Bob Shepard.
Please direct your attention now to the microphones behind home plate and welcome the United States Military Academy at West Point Band under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Rotundi. They will play our national anthem.
Tim McCarver will have more from the Bronx as we near first pitch of Game 6 of the World Series on Fox.
Welcome to Game 6 of this 2003 World Series. The Florida Marlins, the New York Yankees. Florida up 3-2. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck, Tim McCarver in just a second. Well, we're back where we started, right here at Yankee Stadium. The Marlins roll in after winning 2 of 3 at home. They're up 3-2. For the Yankees, they have the guy they want on the mound. The guy that they've had on the mound when they've been down in series this postseason, Andy Pettit. On the other side, so much has been said and so much has been written about Jack McKeon's decision to go with Josh Beckett here in Game 6, and if necessary, also on 3 days rest, Carl Pavano in a Game 7 tomorrow night. Tim McCarver, I think the way we've talked about it, we talked about it in Game 5, there really was no decision here for Jack McKeon. We don't disagree with what he did at all.
I mean, I think it's overrated in postseason to worry about 3 days rest. This way, by starting Beckett tonight and if necessary Pavano tomorrow night, the Marlins give themselves 2 chances to win 1 game. It makes all the sense in the world.
On the other side of it, the Marlins feel they're better off with Dontrelle Willis in the bullpen. The only other choice was Mark Redmond, who has really struggled his last 2 starts. Well, around here, the Florida Marlins hope they celebrate after tonight's game. The Yankees hope they hear Frank Sinatra singing New York, New York. Right now, it's the chairman of the board singing Luck Be a Lady Tonight.
They call you Lady Luck, and yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush, you might refuse to stay, and so the best that I can do is pray. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight.
A little more electricity in the air tonight at Yankee Stadium as Andy Pettit makes the start for the Yankees. Backed up, down 3-2. This could possibly be the last night in pinstripes for both Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, And Andy Pettitte, the 31-year-old left-handed starter, who is 3-0 this postseason. The Yankees ask him for another win. Starting lineup for the Florida Marlins is brought to you by Citibank. Juan Pierre leads it off in center. Luis Castillo batting second. Ivan Rodriguez hitting third. Then it's Cabrera, Conine the DH, Lowell at third, Derek Lee at first, Juan Encarnacion, and the shortstop is Alex Gonzalez batting ninth. And we look at Andy Pettitte, who has been lights out, 3-0 this year after a Yankee loss in the postseason with an ERA of 1.21.
All of those games after a Yankee loss in game one of each, the Division Series, Championship Series, and the World Series. So yet another important game, a tourniquet for the running game, ground balls galore, preferably on the left side of the infield. There were 8 outs recorded by Pettitte when he pitched in game 2 on ground balls to the left.
Take a look at the defense behind Andy Pettitte. It's also brought to you by Citibank. Matsui is in left with Bernie Williams in center, Garcia in right, because now the DH is in effect. Nick Johnson plays at first base, and Giambi will be the DH tonight. Boone and Jeter on that important left side with Andy Pettitte on the mound. Talked to Joe Torre before the game. Any idea of starting Enrique Wilson at third for Boone? He wanted to make sure that Soriano was in the lineup. He said no. Boone's our best defensive third baseman, and with Pettitte on the mound, we need him over at third base. Juan Pierre is set to lead it off. Castillo and Ivan Rodriguez will follow.
Only one bunt attempt by Pierre against Pettitte in game 2.
All the flash bulbs popping as we begin game 6. Pierre said it hit his jersey. The home plate umpire, Tim Welke, shaking his head no.
Pettitte coming inside to Pierre, and it did hit the jersey.
So instead of being at first base, it's called ball 1 inside. Back inside goes Pettitte. It's 2-1. If the pitch hits the jersey, any part of that uniform, it's considered being hit by the pitch. Right there, it takes a little swipe at the Marlins logo on the jersey of Pierre, who pops to short, 1 away.
So here it is in the first inning, and luck has proven to be a lady for the Yankees thus far.
Wind is whipping around now. Hot dog wrappers flying all over the park. There's tonight's starter, Josh Beckett. We understand some rain is in the forecast for tomorrow. Marlins trying to make the rain just a nuisance with travel plans as opposed to starting time in a game 7 on Sunday night. Castillo, strike 1. Only 3 hits in this World Series for Luis Castillo.
Castillo, so conscious of the pitch inside, he takes one outside.
Now Ivan Rodriguez. Pudge 5 out of 19 in this World Series, only 1 RBI. Into center field off the end of the bat and a base hit. Played on 2 hops by Bernie Williams. In the first inning for the Marlins continues Miguel Cabrera. will step to the plate.
Posada setting up outside, and it was off the end of the bat. They have broken his bat. That's a little cut fastball that's thrown away by design. Most of Andy Pettitte's cut fastballs will be in on the hands of the right-handed batters, but occasionally he'll go away when he thinks that they're looking inside.
Game 2 of this World Series, Andy Pettitte went 8 2/3 innings, allowed no earned runs, 1 run, 6 hits, a walk, and 7 strikeouts in a 6-1 win. Only an error by Aaron Boone, the third baseman, prevented the complete game shutout. Ball 1 to Cabrera. The Marlins have really struggled with left-handed pitching in this postseason, hitting only .212 as a group against lefties. Back to Pettitte. Knocks it down. Inning over. A hit, 1 left. Yankees come to bat against 23-year-old Josh Beckett. It's game 6. No score. Josh Beckett has been phenomenal this postseason. He's back at it in game 6. The starting lineup for the Yankees brought to you by Citibank. Derek Jeter is leading off. Nick Johnson batting second. Bernie Williams hitting third. Matsui again is cleaning up. Posada batting in the 5-hole with Giambi the DH, Garcia in right, Aaron Boone and Alfonso Soriano down at the other end batting ninth. How about Josh Beckett?
It's hard to believe that he was the losing pitcher in game 3 because he was bested by Mike Mussina. Poised and intimidating. The improving fastball, a great changeup, usually around 86, 87. And as we discussed in the opening, what's the alternative?
He has never worked on 3 days rest as a starter. That's hammered foul. Jeter up there ready for the first fastball of the night and was a little quick. Beckett worked a complete game shutout in game 5 of the NLCS, and then with 2 days rest came back and worked 4 innings in game 7 in Chicago. .95 miles per hour. It's 0-2.
It's a smart pitch. Often when a guy gets good wood on the ball and pulls it foul, he's not looking for that pitch back in there. Beckett doubled up on Jeter.
Opponents only hitting .138 against Josh Beckett in this postseason. Jeter, the only guy to reach Beckett with hits, as a breaking ball has him frozen, knees buckling, 1 out. What a pitch. 2 fastballs. Jeter doesn't agree. He goes down watching.
Yeah, this ball has a lot of the plate.
So with 1 out, the defense for the Marlins brought to you by Citibank. Great up the middle, Castillo and Gonzalez, and Pierre out in center. Pierre is flanked by Cabrera and Encarnacion, that we talked about in the first 2 games here. It's a lot to ask of a guy who hasn't played a lot of outfield. And Miguel Cabrera to work that big left field here at Yankee Stadium. A changeup and a swinging strike on Nick Johnson. One ball, 1 strike. Johnson only 5 hits in this World Series, 12 in the entire postseason. In the air to right, did not get his arms extended, and Encarnacion. 2 out. With the bases empty and 2 down, Bernie Williams will be the hitter. This place is packed. Yankee Stadium. Fans making much more noise already than we heard really in game 1 or game 2. In game 1, they said, well, it was a hangover from that Thursday night game 7 ALCS thriller against the Boston Red Sox. But even in game 2, it was a more subdued Yankee Stadium. Not anymore. With the bases empty, here's Bernie Williams. What a World Series Bernie Williams has had. Ball one.
Game one here at Yankee Stadium, so anticlimactic that the great author David Halberstam suggested that it's like moving your birthday to December 26th.
Well, it was Christmas around here when the Yankees beat the Red Sox in Game 7. A high strike, a high changeup, and the count's 1-1.
There are very few pitchers, if any, in baseball who have success with the changeup that is that fast. Always around 86, 87.
And now 96 to follow up the 86, 87 mile-an-hour changeup. Strike two.
It's much tougher to handle a high fastball from Beckett than it is a ball around the thighs or the knees.
Into left center field. Tailing away from Pierre, and a diving try can't get it. It gets away from Cabrera, and Bernie Williams ends up at second with 2 out.
That ball tailing away from Bernie Williams and tailing away from Juan Pierre. Pierre plays a very deep center field. On that particular ball, it gave him a better chance to make the catch just off the webbing.
You never want to accuse a guy of timing a dive, but he got to a certain point. Pierre slowed down, then had to speed up. So either that ball moved on him at the end, or he thought he was going to get there and just did not. As Matsui takes a fastball for a strike.
When a left-handed hitter hits the ball to left center field, it should be no surprise to a center fielder that the ball's going to tail away from him. You know what I think too, Joe? I think he took a little circular route to get to that ball instead of coming right straight across. The ball did have a lot of hang time.
Matsui could put the Yankees out in front. Into right field, shattered bat, and Encarnacion ends the inning. So a 2-out double. Matsui lines out, and we've played 1 inning. In Game 6, Beckett, no signs of wear and tear through a scoreless first. No score after 1. Jeff Conine first up for the Florida Marlins here in the 2nd inning. No score. And that is hit hard, but right at Matsui. 1 out. Tonight's Sprint Virtual Manager question: is it a disadvantage pitching with 3 days rest in the World Series? To answer the question, use your PCS Vision phone from Sprint or log on to foxsports.com. Joining us from down in the seats on a borrowed Sprint phone is John McEnroe. Hi, John.
How you guys doing? It's been a great playoff. Incredible.
It has been an unbelievable playoff, and now here we are in the World Series in Game 6. Yankees trying to force Game 7. I know you're a New Yorker through and through. First pitch is a strike to Lowell. You've got, well, first we'll ask you the question. Is it a disadvantage pitching with 3 days rest in the World Series? Do you think it's going to bother Beckett?
No, I think I heard you guys mention a couple days ago that Gibson did it in the 7th game of the World Series on 2 days rest, and this guy's 23. So I don't think it's the 3 days, but I think the pressure of being in Yankee Stadium is going to get to him.
Mac, thanks. No balls, 2 strikes. And a breaking ball misses. You're right down there and can obviously yell at the umpire if you choose. You wouldn't do something like that, would you?
No. You know me better than that.
All right, good. John,
now, the old days I got paid. I got fined. Now I get paid to do it.
Here's a fly ball into right field, slicing into the corner. A fair ball off the wall. Well played by Garcia, but the throw is over Jeter. And it's a 1-out double. John McEnroe, thanks for your time tonight.
Keep up the great work, you guys. Take care.
Thanks, John. Well, the line judge down the right field line tonight is Ed Rapuano. And this is an easy call as Mike Lowell, who had 1 hit against Pettit in Game 2, doubles down the right field line.
So Lowell, who's been struggling, only 3 hits in this World Series prior to that double, is in scoring position for Derek Lee. Lee, 5 hits, 20 at-bats in the World Series. So far, 2 RBIs. Trying to put Florida on top. They try to put the Yankees away tonight. Strike 1. Jack McKeon talked about the importance of scoring early, getting out on top, trying to take some of this crowd out of it, trying to take some of the pressure off Josh Beckett. A chance for the Marlins to do that here in the second. Too far inside, a ball and a strike.
And sometimes if you're the following hitter after a guy doubles on a pitch outside against a guy like Andy Pettitte, you can guess location the next time up. Pettitte has missed twice. I beg your pardon, once with that cut fastball inside. See if he goes back in there.
See if Lee is looking for it. It's upstairs, throw down to second, and Lowell back.
Throw from Posada was low. Nicely handled by Soriano.
Talked about Rodriguez the entire October. Wherever you are on base, you have to be aware of Rodriguez behind the plate. Here's a 2-1 to Lee. Late swing, 2-2. Laura Pettitte watching as Andy comes set with a 2-2. 2 out.
So after Mike Lowell doubled on the fastball away, Andy Pettitte comes inside with the cutter 5 times in a row to get Derek Lee.
Now it's up to Encarnacion. A 2-out hit by Rodriguez in the first. Cabrera grounded out. A 1-out double by Lowell in the second, and Encarnacion has his chance to chip in. Breaking ball for a strike.
A lot of players refer to that cut fastball as a poor man's slider. In this particular instance, it's a rich man's slider. Wealthier after this winter of negotiating.
Off the hands, and it's 0-2. July 24, 2001, Encarnacion, then with Detroit, hit a tremendous home run into the bleacher seats deep in left center field off Ramiro Mendoza. You don't hit him much farther than that in this stadium. No. He's set up here at 0-2.
You could see Posada using his glove to tell Pettitte to look at him because that was a mistake, a high mistake out over the plate. Pettitte trying to come inside to Encarnacion. And if you miss with that pitch to this hitter, you must miss inside. He likes to extend his arms.
Posada, Giambi, and Kareem Garcia. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Yankees. Going into Game 5, I think Jack McKeon had his mind made up that win or lose, Josh Beckett was going to start this Game 6.
Yeah, he didn't make it public, but I agree with you.
If the Marlins came in here down 3-2, he would have Beckett going on short rest, but he would give himself the best opportunity to win, as opposed to Mark Redmond, who in his last 2 starts, Game 2 of this series, Game 7 of the NLCS lasted a combined 5 1/3 innings. The only other option was Dontrelle Willis, and he is clearly the best left-handed option for Jack McKeon out of the Marlins bullpen against a team that's got good left-handed hitting.
Yeah, as you stated correctly the other night, 2 days ago, when Dontrelle Willis came into Game 5, that sewed it up. Beckett starting Game 6.
He misses high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Everybody points to the last 5 postseasons when pitchers on 3 days rest are 6 and 20. But think about it. Josh Beckett hasn't been part of that.
He also only threw 142 innings this season. Out with a sprained pitching elbow for 2 months. He's 3-2 on Posada leading off the second. On the inside corner, 94 miles per hour, 1 out.
Posada complaining about this pitch, but keep in mind that in Game 3 it was a pitch similar to that with the bases loaded that the Marlins complained about. So Posada doesn't get that pitch. That ball looked like it had a piece of the plate. But Posada driving in the first run for the Yankees and that bases loaded walk in Game 3.
With 1 out, nobody on, Giambi takes the ball. The other aspect to it is up 3 games to 2. Jack McKeon says, why would we go in here and just give the Yankees Game 6? We want to have our 2 best options left to win 1 game at Yankee Stadium to win it all. Whether it happens in Game 6 or in Game 7. If there's a Game 7, Pavano will pitch against Mike Mussina, who was the mound opponent for Josh Beckett in Game 3. 2-0 the count on Giambi.
Joe Torre will give Giambi the hit sign 3-0. And Giambi with tremendous power to left center field. He can hit it out of the ballpark anywhere in this stadium.
Not close, a 1-out walk. Tonight's starter for the Yankees, Andy Pettitte. Here are his thoughts on the Marlins starter, Josh Beckett.
I think he thinks he can climb mountains right now. And, you know, hopefully when he steps out on that mound at Yankee Stadium here, you know, it'll be a little bit different. Hopefully we can, you know, the crowd will get to him a little bit. And hopefully our lineup will get to him a little bit. And hopefully we can pull it off. But he's got electric stuff, and he's a great young pitcher. And there's no doubt about it, he's got all the confidence in the world right now.
Coming off that Game 3 start when he got into the 8th. Allowed 2 runs and only 3 hits. All 3 hits by Jeter. Here's Garcia. Breaking ball in for a strike. Kareem Garcia 3 out of 11 in this World Series. 7 for 27 in the postseason.
After missing with 4 straight fastballs to Giambi, Beckett comes back with a wicked curveball.
It's 0-2.
Often, when a pitcher misses high with the fastball, going to the breaking ball makes him finish his windup or his stretch. And that's what Beckett has done the last 2 pitches to Garcia.
With Ivan Rodriguez, a 31-year-old veteran catcher, calling for these pitches. The 0-2 delivery. Another one, and a ground ball to Castillo. Going to be tough. Out at second and no chance on a relay. 2 out. 4-6 on the force out.
Castillo knowing who's running. Giambi with a sore left knee. That's why he did not start Game 5. Throwing to the outside of the bag. Nicely done.
So no chance to turn two for the Marlins, and the inning will continue for Aaron Boone. We're underway in Game 6, bottom of the second. Yankees got a double in the first by Williams. Matsui lined out. A one-out walk to Giambi here in the second. He's forced out at second. And Josh Beckett pitching on 3 days rest. Matched up against Andy Pettitte. With the Marlins up 3-2. Boone has been doing a lot of that, swinging and missing. Strike one.
At similar pitches, fastballs inside. Rodriguez sets up outside. But like Braden Looper did to Boone in an important at-bat in the 11th inning of Game 4. Beckett comes inside.
It's 0-2. Beckett has not given Aaron Boone that mid-90s fastball yet. And he went 3 straight breaking balls with Garcia. Breaking ball stays high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So you've got a fastball mid-90s, a changeup upper 80s, and a curveball that's 79, 80 miles per hour. Stays inside, 2-2. Beckett has shied away from the fastball here in the second inning.
Now the second pitch was a straight change, and then he went to 2 curveballs. Fastball away.
There's the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and Beckett charging off the mound, screaming at himself after his 3rd strikeout of the night into inning number 3. Marlins bat, no score. The number 9 man in the lineup for Florida is Alex Gonzalez. He's the shortstop, and he takes a ball low. It'll be Gonzalez, then Pierre, then Castillo. If anybody gets on, Ivan Rodriguez. Marlins with a win here tonight win the World Series. The Yankees with a win here tonight force Game 7 tomorrow. 1 ball, 1 strike from Pettitte. The Marlins as a team hitting .254 this postseason. Off the hand, slow roller. Boone, tough play. Good play. 1 out.
Aaron Boone gave that ball no chance to roll foul. It may have rolled foul had he let it go, but he was playing in and made the play quickly. Sidearm throw to get Gonzalez.
So with 1 out, here's Juan Pierre. The Yankee pitching staff as a group this postseason, a 2.84 ERA. On the heels of a regular season where they ended up 3rd in the American League with a team ERA just over 4. Ball 1 to Pierre, who popped out to short after being grazed by a pitch across the jersey. Tim Welke, the home plate umpire, did not award Pierre first base. Good bender in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Two balls and a strike.
If it were anybody else on either team, with the exception possibly of Soriano, who was hit by a pitch leading off, you'd say, well, you don't know how important it would be. But to Pierre, you know it's important.
Fastball missed, and the count's 3-1. Full count. A 1-out walk. First walk handed out by Pettit tonight. What has Andy Pettit done? Well, he's become the stopper for Joe Torre and Mel Stottlemyre. You look at the numbers, 13-3 this season following a Yankee loss, 11 straight wins, and in his career, the Yankees trailing in a series, a 4-2 record and a terrific 2.17 ERA. 3-0 this postseason. As he looks at Pierre and shows off that very good pickoff move to first.
67 pickoffs since 1995, the most in the major leagues during that time.
Pierre has stolen only one base in this World Series. The top two guys all we talked about before game 1 and before game 2, Castillo and Pierre, they have combined to go 2 out of 4 in stealing bases. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Castillo takes a strike. Got Soriano before that pitch. Now he moves over to his left. Soriano is near the bag. He'll be covering if Pierre takes off, and with Nick Johnson holding against Pierre at first, the right side of the infield is wide open.
It always is with a right-handed hitter up there, but not to this degree. You can see how closely Soriano is at second base. The reason Soriano is covering if Pierre runs is that Pettit throws a lot of fastballs inside that are more apt to be pulled. If he kept the ball away from Castillo, perhaps Jeter would cover.
The third, Boone staggered at the start, and Soriano cannot complete the relay. Don't know with Castillo's speed if Soriano would have been able to turn it, but it would have been close. Soriano could not find the handle. 2 out.
Soriano really never had control of the ball. Pierre made sure. Ball was not hit hard, but Boone was playing in closely. Gives Soriano a good throw at second base. Behind the bag, Soriano can't complete the play.
And so the inning continues. Pettit thought he had the inning-ending double play. Instead, he has to deal with Ivan Rodriguez. The opposite way into right field. Back is Garcia at the wall to end the inning. That short porch in right. Pettit and the Yankees breathe a sigh of relief. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Soriano, Jeter, Johnson coming up. No score. Alfonso Soriano was on the bench for game 5. Enrique Wilson took his spot. Soriano pinch hit that night, struck out. He's in the lineup, but batting in the number 9 position. And a check swing foul into the seats. Soriano with 26 strikeouts this postseason. Been to the plate 68 times.
And if that check swing doesn't indicate what kind of World Series Soriano is having, on the first pitch, a check swing. He was really in between.
Waits on it, banks it into center. The leadoff man is on for the first time tonight.
The best way to get out of that in-between swing is to get a high curveball, a hanger. You can see that little hesitation. That was because of the curve. He was fooled on it, striding, and then regrouping. High curveball.
Now back to the top of the order, Derek Jeter. The Marlins tonight trying to become the first visiting team since the '81 Dodgers Game 6 of the World Series to clinch a postseason series at Yankee Stadium. Up 3-2. Jeter takes the ball.
That was the first year the World Series had tri-MVPs. Pedro Guerrero, Ron Cey, and Steve Yeager. All good players for the Dodgers.
Check on Soriano. He stole 35 bases during the regular season. He's 5 for 6 trying it in the postseason. Problem is he hasn't been on enough to do more damage on the bases.
There's so many things that Joe Torre could do here. If you had a low ball pitcher, you'd be more inclined to put the hit and run on. But Beckett with a good high fastball, and it's a tough pitch to put the ball in play on the ground.
Jeter with that swing, trying to shoot it to right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick Johnson on deck. Joe Torre has been juggling his lineup night after night. And tonight, for 2003, the first look at Jeter in the top spot. Soriano batting 9th. Leading off this inning, Soriano a hit. Two balls and a strike.
Marlins pitching out, thinking Soriano was going to run. Sometimes you talk a team into hitting and running.
The pitch out makes it 2 balls and a strike.
Right.
See if Soriano takes off here. He's going. Jeter puts it into play. Out at first, down to second. Soriano, 1 away.
That was an interesting play around second base for both Soriano and Castillo. Soriano didn't know whether to keep going to try to get in front of the ball, get to second base in front of the ball, or wait for the ball to go through. That hesitation right there, but he's quick enough to make the slide. Castillo fakes the throw, wanted to go there, but realizes the sure out at first base.
Jeter applauding his work, advancing the runner, and Nick Johnson could put the Yankees on top here in Game 6. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Now Ivan Rodriguez will go out and talk. So while they talk, we will remind you, you can play Hit the Pros presented by Chevy Silverado and face real pitches from today's best hurlers. Log on to foxsports.com, keyword games, Chevy Silverado. It's the right truck. That has plagued the Yankees this entire series. 163 overall with runners in scoring position of the Yankees. It's 3-0. Beckett, even with interleague play, is pitching tonight for the first time in an American League ballpark. Of all places, Yankee Stadium, Game 6 of the World Series. 3-1 to Nick Johnson. 2 on, 1 out.
The Yankees love this situation. They have their hottest hitter up there with 2 men on.
Good breaking ball in for strike 1.
Using the seams for leverage.
Another, it's 0-2.
Beckett has hung some curveballs. Not the last 2.
Williams checks his swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Another curveball.
So the first fastball of the at-bat is 1 up and in to Bernie Williams. See if that's a setup pitch for another curveball or a changeup. With a count 2-2. Ground ball to second. Castillo out. Double play, and out of the inning is Josh Beckett. We go to the 4th inning of Game 6 here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees just missed their best chance of the night so far. Marlins up 3 games to 2. No score tonight. Beautiful night in New York. Cold here yesterday, but it warmed up in time for Game 6. Miguel Cabrera stands in. Conine and Lowell will follow him. No score, 4th inning. Andy Pettitte has allowed 2 hits. Struck out 3. Deals ball 1. Cabrera with a record 12 RBIs this postseason, the rookie. Looking for his 5th hit. His 22nd at bat in this World Series. One ball, 1 strike. Most RBIs by a rookie in a single postseason. Go back to Willie McGee with the '82 Cardinals. Drove home 10 and had only LCS play in the World Series. And at that point, the LCS was best of 5. Where the breaking ball is in for a strike. It's 1-2 on Cabrera.
Fastball away, fastball inside, and now the curveball.
0 for 4 against Pettit in Game 2 was Miguel Cabrera.
We've said it a number of times. With 2 strikes, he loves to go to right field.
Pettit gave him a chance on a pitch off the outside part of the plate. Nick Johnson on the double play ball got the left ankle of Gonzalez across the back of his head, ending the 3rd inning. Little ding, but okay to continue. Here comes a 1-2 pitch, and Cabrera is granted time. At Yankee Stadium, when you add extra umpires, 2 extra umpires for the postseason, the guys down the line are, what, 40 feet behind the first and third base umpires?
John McEnroe said they're line judges.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, 2-2. It's Tim Welke behind the plate tonight, and if this series should go 7, Randy Marsh, who was behind the plate in Game 1, his turn in the rotation comes up again. The 2-2. He went. Strikeout number 4 for Andy Pettit.
Andy Pettit teasing Cabrera with the breaking ball away. And Miguel bites.
He doesn't believe that he did. But according to the first base umpire, Randy Marsh, he went too far. Here's Conan. Lined out to left. His first time up, takes the ball. Talked about it every stop during the postseason for Andy Pettit. You referenced it earlier about the free agent to be. A guy who a few years ago was on the trading block. George Steinbrenner was the guy who put him there, and the baseball people with the organization had to basically talk Steinbrenner out of pulling the trigger on a deal to ship Pettit out of New York. He was struggling at the time. He isn't now. 1-1 pitch. A little too far inside, ball 2. Coming off a season in which he won 28 games and lost only 8 times. Broken bat, fly ball, Bernie Williams. 2 out. We showed you Nick Johnson getting kicked in the head by Alex Gonzalez last half inning. First base coach Lee Mazzilli is wearing a microphone. Went out to check on Nick Johnson.
Stay down, Nick. Stay down, Nick. Stay down, buddy. Stay down. What happened? Stay down. Stay down. No? Huh? Yeah. Where'd you get hit? Yeah. Huh? Where'd you get it? In the head? You got hit in the head.
Oh, you got hit in the head? You got hit in the head.
You got hit in the head.
Got hit in the head. Got hit in the head. Watch Nick get hit in the head. Hit in the head. Strike 1 is into Mike Lowell. Lee Mazzilli, who just... Here's a ground ball in the hole. Jeter. The leap, the throw, what a play.
Why was Mike Lowell not running here?
Wasn't even close at first. Jeter got to it, and And like we've seen him do so many times, turning as he jumps up. And the inning is over. No score. Hideki Matsui goes after the first pitch from Beckett. Skies it out to center field, 1 out. That's the way the bottom of the 4th inning begins, and we go back to how the top of the 4th inning ended.
I think what happens sometimes when you get that fastball inside, it kind of stuns you for a second. Mike Lowell running about 80% down to first base.
Jeter, the man who made the play deep in the hole. And in the end, it wasn't even close at first base as Jorge Posada, who struck out his first time, digs in here in the 4th inning. No score, game 6. Marlins up 3-2. Posada. We haven't seen a ton of Josh Beckett fastballs here tonight. He's picked his spots.
Not the overpowering fastball that we saw in game 3.
And we won't see one here. Curveball in for a strike. It's 0-2.
Curveball is so tightly wrapped. Very difficult for the hitter to pick that pitch up. Late break to it.
And then the art of not moving the glove or the arm by Rodriguez and just catching it in the edge or in the webbing of the catcher's mitt. Freezing, holding it there for Tim Welke. 0-2 pitch. Change up misses. 1-2. Giambi on deck. Still 1-2. I looked down at our trivia question tonight and realized that we already discussed the topic. And I've already said the answer to tonight's trivia question.
There you have. Inadvertently.
Inadvertently. It'll be kind of a test, like an open book test. The answer has been given. The 1-2 pitch. Posada strikes out, and that's strikeout number 4 for Josh Beckett. Knowing full well that you don't really listen to what we say here in the booth, and that's okay. I've accepted that. Our MasterCard trivia question: when was the last time the Yankees were eliminated from the postseason at home? If you have TiVo, you can cheat and come up with the answer. You said back in the 2nd or 3rd inning. If not, it's up to your short to midterm memory. With 2 out, nobody on. Here is Jason Giambi. And a pop-up. Shallow left center field. It's Cabrera who comes in and catches it to end the 4th. Pettit and Beckett not backing down. Back after this from your local Fox station. 7, 8, 9 hitters in the 5th inning, no score. Andy Pettit deals strike 1 to Derek Lee. Lee, Encarnacion, and Gonzalez. 5 hits, 21 at bats. Only 8 RBIs the entire postseason for a guy who drove home 92 during the regular year for Florida. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You're going to get Lee to start looking for that inside pitch. 7 straight pitches inside to Derek Lee from Andy Pettit.
1-2.
And the first curveball of the night to Lee.
Around the plate, dropping low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strikeout number 5 for Andy Pettit starts the 5th inning. Tomorrow, Fox NFL Sunday begins with America's #1 pregame show. Then Bill Parcells and the Cowboys face their biggest test when they take on the Bucks. The 49ers take on the Cardinals in an NFC West showdown. Or, of course, other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. The biggest stories are in the NFC, and the NFC is on Fox. If necessary, we will be here tomorrow night for Game 7. Encarnacion, ball one. Struck out his first time. Change up to make it 1-1.
You're going to throw Encarnacion. Anything off speed, you better make it a straight change. He is one of the best curveball hitters in the National League. Loves the rolling curveball.
2-1. Going toe-to-toe. Josh Beckett and Andy Pettit. Beckett 23, Pettit 31. Left side, Boone. 2 out. Boone, who has struggled defensively this postseason and in this World Series in particular, has made 2 very good plays tonight.
Good footwork for the second out.
Johnson there to dig out the throw. 2 out. And Gonzalez, who was the hero in Game 4 with that 12th inning home run off Jeff Weaver, which gave the talk shows in New York plenty to talk about the next day. Digs in. Strike 1. Weaver getting the call that night, pitching a perfect 11th. And then made a pitch on 3-2 that Gonzalez just got up and just got out. Andy Pettit has retired 7 straight. That string ends as Gonzalez is on with a 2-out single. Were you paying attention? It's okay for one. MasterCard trivia question. The last time the Yankees were eliminated from the postseason at home. 1981. Game 6. World Series with the Dodgers. Tim gave us an interesting tidbit about that series right at the end of that discussion back a couple of innings.
Try MVP.
That's right. Now I remember that. Guerrero, Yeager,
and Ron Say.
Gonzalez draws the throw. Alex Gonzalez has not stolen a base all season. With that pickoff look and move by Andy Pettit, you wouldn't figure it would come here. But if there is a time to run with a guy who's not a power man at the plate, it would be here. Breaking ball in for a strike.
The one thing we have not seen Pierre do in the World Series is what he does often against National League pitchers. Fake a bunt and then drive it past the third baseman who's drawn in.
Just missed, a ball and a strike. And because of that, with Boone in, not that far behind him is Matsui in left.
Matsui now waving to the dugout, trying to get them to tell him one way or the other. Lee Mazzilli moving the outfielders around.
Started to talk about Mazzilli last inning when Lowell grounded out. He will interview for the Baltimore Orioles managerial position at the end of this World Series on a list that includes Eddie Murray. Pierre at the plate with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. just spoiled. Juan Pierre struck out his first at bat of this postseason. Did that against San Francisco. And since then has struck out only one time. An incredible ability to put the bat on the ball.
He struck out only 35 times all year while walking 55 times.
Line drive, base hit. Past the glove of Jeter. Second time that Pierre has reached. And now the Marlins ask Luis Castillo for a big 2-out hit.
Pettit tries to get inside to Pierre, but fouling off that pitch before gave him new life, and he pushes it right past the diving Jeter. Or if not diving, lunging Jeter.
Reaching.
Yeah, close enough.
Castillo 0 for 2 tonight and 3 out of 23 in this World Series. He hit .314 during the regular season, had the best average of any Marlin hitter. A team that from the 23rd of May on had the best record in baseball. Jack McKeon taking over on the 11th of May. Dontrell Willis came up on May 9th. That's when things started to turn around for this franchise, which has never finished in first place in their division. A little sneak in by Nick Johnson behind Juan Pierre at first. But Perry Hill and Juan Pierre were alert. Strike one.
Good curveball from Pettit. That's what the curve does. It opens up that lane right in here. Good cutter from Pettit.
Pettit just called Posada out to the mound prior to this 0-2 pitch. Now Ivan Rodriguez, the catcher for the Marlins, just crept out of the on-deck circle and shouted something to Luis Castillo. And Castillo loses his necklace. Just got a piece.
Got a piece of the ball and himself. Foul ball hit him on the right foot.
Castillo hitting without his beaded necklace now for the rest of this at bat. Roger Clemens is available if needed in the bullpen, but Andy Pettit has done his job so far. Trying to end this 5th inning right here. Again, in on or under the hands of Castillo, who just got a piece. If Castillo isn't a big RBI man, and he never has been, the guy on deck certainly is. Ivan Rodriguez. Only one hit with runners in scoring position this series for Castillo. Ball one.
So after the curveball, Pettit has tried to come inside 4 straight times to get Castillo.
Castillo, who Jack McKeon has had to single out after games to try to keep him pumped up. Not get down on himself with a chance here in Game 6, 5th inning. Telling us nobody takes failure harder on this team than Castillo. Two and two.
Tried to backdoor him with that breaking ball. Watch Posada set up outside, and the breaking ball misses outside. You can see that left front leg of Castillo still looking for that cutter inside.
Feet are moving all over the place. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, no score in the 5th. Line drives a base hit into right. The throw home by Garcia to the plate. Safe, touching the plate and putting the Marlins on top is Gonzalez. 1-0 Florida here in the 5th inning.
What a terrific slide by Gonzalez to the outside edge of the plate. But if you're blocking the plates, you don't have this problem. Posada's out in front of the plate on the throw. The throw is right on the money. And more major league catchers are doing this, staying outside and trying to reach back, even though in fairness, that ball was to the first base side of home plate. But a great slide by Gonzalez. If you have your left leg over the plate, then it makes it very difficult. The base runner has to slide inside, but you leave that whole plate exposed, and that allows him to do what he did. Fine slide as the Marlins take the lead. Posada has to reach back just a bit, but if you're on the plate, this doesn't happen. Right there. What a slide by Gonzalez.
And now with a throw home, Pierre goes to third. Castillo's at second, 2 outs. And the decision as Pettit has fallen behind Ivan Rodriguez. He has been so clutch the entire postseason for the Marlins. Trying to add to a 1-0 5th inning lead. The rookie Cabrera's on deck. And there's no doubt that that vacancy at first base is part of the topic of conversation between Stottlemyre and Pettit.
Might add on that play at home plate, that is the toughest play for a catcher, to block the plate. The reason is you don't know where the runner is. You're trying to pick the ball up from right field. You don't know where the runner is, but if he's back on the plate instead of in front of the plate, he's got a better chance to ward him off.
A 2-out hit by Gonzalez. Pierre fought for a hit, and Luis Castillo puts the Marlins on top here in the 5th inning. And now they're going to walk Ivan Rodriguez and work to Cabrera. So an intentional pass here in the 5th inning. Jack McKeon talked about the importance of scoring first. It took until the 5th inning. The Marlins have accomplished that. And now it could be a huge 5th inning if the 20-year-old Venezuelan Miguel Cabrera can come up with something against Pettit. Three singles, now a walk, and here's Cabrera, who was 0 for 6 in this series against Andy Pettit. Ball 1 high. Great speed on the bases for Florida. And that even includes Ivan Rodriguez, the catcher, running at first. Bases loaded, 2 out. 1 ball, no strikes on Miguel Cabrera. 1-1. Jack McKeon will tell you when Cabrera's at the plate, things happen. He doesn't always get a hit, but he hits it to the right spot. Mistakes are made. That's why he inserted him in the cleanup spot in this lineup after the postseason began. Up with a golden opportunity here and set up at a ball and 2 strikes.
Pettit trying to wear him out inside.
That keeps it 1-2. Cabrera's knocked home 12 runs in this postseason, a rookie record that we showed you earlier. It's been a 31-pitch 5th inning for Andy Pettit. What will pitch number 32 bring here in the 5th?
That was hittable, and Cabrera whacking himself on the helmet after he misses this high cutter right up in his eye. Going.
It's still 1-2.
So far, this looks like the Castillo at bat. Posada and Pettit going inside, inside, inside. And then when they went away, Castillo poked it to right for a base hit.
That's a foul ball. So this has been, win or lose in this at bat, a terrific effort by both Pettit and Cabrera. A 20-year-old Miguel Cabrera just shows you time after time that he is wise and mature beyond his years. In a battle with Andy Pettit. And Pettit again calls Posada out to the mound. Florida Marlins, their first year, 1993. Won a world championship in 1997. Losing records every year until 2003. They lead in the series. They lead here in Game 6. Inning over. But the Marlins strike first tonight in Game 6. As they try to end the World Series and win it here tonight. It is the bottom of the 5th inning. It is Kareem Garcia, the number 7 hitter. Aaron Boone and Alfonso Soriano will follow. 1-0 behind Beckett. Line drive, base hit. Pass Castillo into right.
Looking fastball and getting it. Just gets it by Castillo. This is a remarkable statistic. The hit by Kareem Garcia is only the 5th hit in 61 at-bats by left-handed batters against the right-handed throwing Beckett in postseason. That's unbelievable.
Now it's Aaron Boone, and we'll see how the Yankees want to play it. In at third is Lowell, expecting a bunt.
I would think the Yankees would be bunting right here early in the count.
Ball 1 from Beckett.
Joe Torre likes to change it once he sees the infielders charging in. The one problem with that with Boone, he's a fly ball hitter. And if you change it, you're not going to get the routine ground ball that you would get out of a guy like Jeter.
Two
2 curveballs missed to Boone.
Pitch number 57 on the night, coming from Josh Beckett, working on 3 days rest. The bunt is perfect. Sacrifice is good, 2-4. Down to second, Garcia. Soriano coming up. Here's Josh Beckett, his thoughts on pitching on short rest here in Game 6.
Me under the bus and said, all right, you're going to start Game 6. He came to me the day after my start. I said, I'm pretty stiff, but let's see how things go tomorrow. I went out and long tossed, called me back in and said, how you feeling? I said, I'm fine, I'm ready to go. And he said, all right, we're going to go for it then. And that's the right thing to do.
Leading 1-0 in the 5th inning. No runs and only 3 hits allowed. Here's Soriano, who has one of the hits. After the first pitch, he pops it up. Left side for Lowell. 2 out. And now it'll be Derek Jeter with a tying run at second, 2 out.
Rodriguez out to talk to Beckett. I think the Marlins would rather see anybody, any other Yankee up there in this situation than Derek Jeter.
And because first base is open, 2 out, Nick Johnson, who has only 5 hits in this entire series, on deck. Not to say that they'll walk him,
right,
but they can be careful with Jeter.
Right. Is that a great look from Jeter to Rodriguez?
99th career playoff game for Derek Jeter. Over the 98 plus, an average of over 300. 96 miles per hour, strike 1.
Rodriguez walking back. Great look. Just to say, what are you guys talking about?
First pitch was a high fastball, and Jeter went after it. Tying run at second, 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. The struggles for the Yankees with runners in scoring position. Jeter hasn't struggled in this spot. He got Beckett for 3 hits in Game 3. Tonight 0 for 2. may be the first time all night that Beckett has thrown 3 consecutive fastballs. And he's behind on the count 2-1 to Jeter. That's Wayne Rosenthal, the pitching coach for Jack McKeon. A breaking ball in for strike 2.
This breaking ball and a fastball count right on the corner.
Which you can do when you don't care if you walk the guy.
Right.
Derek Jeter, a very good 2-strike hitter. Beckett blows a 97-mile-per-hour fastball past his bat. The 23-year-old Josh Beckett, 3 days rest, carries a 1-0 lead into the 6th inning of Game 6. Marlins trying to win it tonight. Well, how is this one going to end? Night after night during the month of October, we have had late inning thrills. We're into the 6th inning now, and the first pitch hit by Conine to Jeter, who throws it into the dirt. First couldn't get it out of his glove, and then threw it short hopping Johnson. And on at first, and what should be an error on Derek Jeter, is Jeff Conine.
Like a pinball machine, bouncing around in there, and now a low throw. Credit Conine running hard from the get-go, but Jeter looking up, and that ball squirts out of his glove, and by the time he makes the throw, it's low, and an error on Derek Jeter.
Errors in October are rare for Jeter, and in the World Series even more so. His first in his last 27 World Series games. A check on Conine at first. Talked about the defense for this Florida Marlins team, in particular on the infield. For the Yankees, they were 11th in the American League in fielding percentage during the regular season. Lowell takes a pitch in the dirt. Committed 114 errors as a team. And that error by Jeter is the 13th for the Yankees in October. Marlins have committed 7. That's in the dirt, 2-0. So now Andy Pettitte, who got out of that 5th inning by striking out Miguel Cabrera with the bases loaded after the run scored on the hit by Castillo, has to try and pitch around a leadoff error here in the 6th.
Dangerous situation to Mike Lowell here. He's a good inside hitter.
It's high, it's 3-0.
More than any other Marlin, Lowell likes the ball inside.
What's he doing on 3-0? Taking ball 4, and the first 2 are on. An error, a walk, and that's the 3rd walk handed out by Pettitte tonight.
Interesting situation right here. Derek Lee has struck out twice on cutters down and in. We'll see if the Marlins want to move the runners up. If you do, Encarnacion will probably be walked for Gonzalez, who singled his last time up. Big opening on the left side of the infield. Jeter holding the runner close at second.
Lee is bunting, and he drops it down to Pettitte, who will go to second for 1. On to first, wide, and safe is Lee. And the runners end up at first and third with 1 out.
Why'd he go to second, not third? He had an easy play at third base. That way you get the lead runner. But now, with only 1 out, you have runners on at first and third. See, Aaron Boone has to backtrack. Maybe that's why he didn't go. That's the catcher's call, because the pitcher's back is to the infield. Ball right back to him. Aaron Boone had to make his decision right away, but clearly the play was at third, not at second.
Now it's Encarnacion with first and third, 1 out. Conine at third. Lee on at first. And Encarnacion trying to add to a 1-0 6th inning lead for Florida. Oh for 2 tonight is Encarnacion. Strike 1. Pettit has struck out 6. Check on Lee, who almost was caught by Andy Pettit wandering.
You could hear Perry Lee, or I beg your pardon, Perry Hill, the first base coach, saying, back, back, back.
Crowd trying to get back into it. Encarnacion with a chance here in the 6th. That's a foul ball. And it's 0-2. The crowd standing, hoping for Pettit's 7th strikeout of the night. Ball 1.
Posada almost hyperextending his left shoulder, reaching for this ball. Fine play by Posada. Keep in mind he's trying to get Pettit to keep the ball down, and you could see that grimace on Pettit's face. Clearly an overthrown fastball.
Right below the booth, still 1-2. Last inning, when the Marlins got the first run and only run of the night, they fouled away 7 pitches with 2 outs and 2 strikes. That hitting approach, Castillo finally broke through with a base hit through the right side. Now Encarnacion battling Pettit. And a little flare into right center field. Garcia will make the grab. Tagging is Conine. Coming to the plate, it's 2-0 Florida. A sac fly by Encarnacion. The Marlins double their lead in the 6th. The error comes around to haunt the Yankees. An error by Jeter to start this inning on a ground ball by Conine.
That looked like a changeup to Encarnacion that he lifted into right center field. Garcia's throw is late. Sometimes a third baseman will try to get in the way of the guy tagging at third base. He'll get in line with the outfielder throwing the ball to try to confuse him, to throw his timing off. That's as routine as in baseball as double plays. That appeared what Boone was trying to do there, but no chance to get Conine.
Now it's Alex Gonzalez who singled and scored the run back in the 5th inning. A 2-out rally. A bunt, third base side. Boone was playing back, base hit. So Gonzalez is 2 for 3, and the inning continues for Pierre.
This inning turned around when Andy Pettit failed to go to third base on that bunt play. Had he done that, and it's not a sacrifice fly, the runner's on at first and third, and then of course you still have to cope with the Gonzalez bunt. But this inning could have been turned around, and the Marlins perhaps wouldn't have been able to score had Pettit gone to third with that bunt instead of second.
So Mel Stoudemire will come out and talk as Jeff Nelson gets loose for the Yankees in their bullpen. Last inning, a 2-out rally, a hit by Gonzalez. Pierre, a line drive hit up the middle. Castillo, a battle and a base hit through the right side. And after an intentional pass, Cabrera struck out with the bases loaded. Here in the 6th, an error, a walk, a force out at second instead of third, a sac fly, and now a bunt base hit. And here's Juan Pierre. Pierre has driven in 3 runs in this World Series. Lee, the lead runner at second. Gonzalez on at first, 2 out. Strike 1.
That was perfectly done by Gonzalez, catching Aaron Boone back. Guy points that bat right down the first baseline. No chance for Boone.
Pierre drove home 41 runs during the regular season. Has 7 in the postseason. That's off the plate and foul for strike 2. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for New York in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jeter is still muttering to himself after the error which started this inning. A strikeout of Juan Pierre. Those are rare. Andy Pettit gets his 7th of the night, but the Marlins tack one on. An unearned run in the inning. Conine scoring after reaching on the error by Jeter. It's 2-0 Florida. All eyes are on 23-year-old Josh Beckett, pitching for the first time ever on 3 days rest. Worked on 2 days rest in Game 7 of the NLCS and pitched 4 big innings for the Marlins at Wrigley. First pitch is a strike to Nick Johnson. Cast members of That 70s Show: Mila Kunis, Danny Masterson, Wilmer Valderrama. That 70s Show premieres Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox. The 0-1 pitch. Johnson hits it in the air to right center field. Encarnacion hauls in out number 1. The number is only 65 pitches for Beckett. As he works in the 6th inning, he's allowed just 3 hits.
Arguably the biggest pitch he made was when Bernie Williams was last up. Runners on at first and second. Scoreless game at the time. And with 1 out, Bernie Williams grounded into a 4-6-3 double play.
Here's Bernie with 1 out, nobody on in the 6th. Matsui on deck. A foul ball, it's 0-2.
The last 26.5 innings, the Yankees have been ahead an inning and a half.
The young starters for the Marlins stepping up in this series: Pavano, Penny, and of course Beckett. In for strike 3, strikeout number 6 for Beckett.
What a curveball right here. Tightly wrapped on the outside part, and after 2 fastballs, Williams has no chance.
That'll bring in Hideki Matsui. The score is only 2-0 Florida, but it doesn't feel that close because of the pitching of Beckett. Fastball for a strike. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. In 1999, the Yankees were in the middle year of winning 3 consecutive World Championships. In 1999, Josh Beckett, the man on the mound, was graduating high school. A chance for a 1-2-3 inning against Johnson, Williams, and Matsui.
With his eyes set on being another Roger Clemens.
Making these Yankee hitters look bad as he goes through the lineup time after time. 7 strikeouts. 6 shutout innings in the books for Josh Beckett. 2-0 Florida after 6. Back after this from your local station. Andy Pettitte back to work, 7th inning. First pitch. Castillo, who drove home the first run of the night, takes high for ball 1. Castillo fell behind with 2 on and 2 out in the 5th inning. Down in the count, 0-2, battled and got the base hit through the right side. He takes low, it's 2-0. Andy Pettitte could not pitch around an error to start the inning last inning. And with Rodriguez and Cabrera to follow, here comes a 2-0 pitch to Luis Castillo. Marlins up, 2-0. That's a strike, 2-1. Marlins took game 1. The Yankees behind Pettitte won game 2. Behind Mike Messina, it was a game 3 victory for the Yankees down in Florida. That's caught on the line by Boone, 1 out. The Marlins have won the last 2 games of this series and lead tonight in game 6, 2-0.
Aaron Boone playing shallow. Had he not been playing shallow, that might have been a very difficult hop, but he's playing shallow for the bunt and catches it before it hits the ground.
So the leadoff man retired, and Ivan Rodriguez steps in. Back to Bennett. 2 out. Miguel Cabrera will come to the plate. The Carolina Mudcats are the Marlins Class AA affiliate. Miguel Cabrera played there for 69 games this season. Hit .365 before being called up to the majors on June 20th. And in his first game with the Marlins in the big league club, won a game in the 11th inning with a home run. Just a glimpse of what was to come for a guy who's driven in 12 runs this postseason. Takes it back to a breaking ball for a strike.
That was a walk-off home run on June 20th. Only the 3rd major leaguer to do it in his debut. Pretty nice debut.
He's hit 4 home runs this postseason. One big home run against Roger Clemens in this World Series. Lined into right, and the top of the 7th inning is history. The Yankees will have Posada, Giambi, and Garcia coming up to get something done against Beckett. Facing elimination here tonight is Mariano Rivera. Gets loose here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-0 Florida. Up 3 games to 2 in this World Series. Posada 1 ball, 1 strike from Beckett. Beckett has only thrown 74 pitches tonight. Working on 3 days rest. The inability of the Yankees to make Beckett go deep into counts. Posada lashes one fair into left field. He will round first, head for second, and make it with a leadoff double.
I believe that was a changeup. Watch how Posada slows the bat down and goes the other way. It was a changeup. Posada with his body out in front hits it the other way. That's a fine piece of hitting by Jorge Posada.
Now Giambi. Tying run at the plate for New York in the 7th. Strike 1, 96 from Beckett. One ball, 1 strike. Garcia and Boone to follow. Pretty good rip by Giambi. It's 1-2. Coming into this game, there were no restrictions on Beckett. No magical pitch counts. Jack McKeon saying if Beckett was effective, he can go all 9. Only 78 pitches as we play here in the 7th. The opposite way. Lowell makes the play, 1 out. Giambi fails to advance the runner. Standing at second is Posada. 1 out.
If the Marlins played Jason Giambi like most American League clubs did, that would have been a base hit, because the third baseman Mike Lowell would have been in the shortstop position.
That's a great point. We've seen infields overload to the right side of the diamond. But with the runner at second, Posada, Lowell is in a rather typical third base position and makes the play easily. Giambi rarely goes that way. Now it's Kareem Garcia. 1 for 2 this evening. He's had pretty good hacks against Beckett tonight, a guy who started the season in Buffalo. AAA for Cleveland. Ruben Sierra has come into the on-deck circle with Boone the next scheduled hitter. And Rivera getting ready in the bullpen. So Joe Torre isn't going to wait around. Garcia now. Sierra next.
Rivera may be the pitcher if the Yankees fail to score here at the bottom of the 7th.
I think so.
You know, he goes 2 innings. Try to keep. He's the best man to keep the Marlins from scoring again. And then with that, Joe Torre probably hoping that the Yankees can muster something over the next 2 2/3 innings.
Josh Beckett's parents watching their 23-year-old pitch with a 7th inning lead here in game 6, 2-0. The curveball makes it 0-2. ball, 2 strikes. Looked like Beckett overthrew the changeup, and then he overthrew the fastball. And the edge is lost. It was 0-2. Garcia, no home runs this postseason, 11 with the Yankees during 2003. Full count.
3 in a row. This is the first time that Beckett has gone away from what got him here. Opening up too quickly, trying to throw the ball through a brick wall instead of taking a step back.
Got him. 2 out. 8th strikeout for Josh Beckett.
Kareem Garcia, along with everybody else, looking for the fastball, and he didn't get it. 3-2. Breaking ball. Breaking ball. Now he's in the hole, 0-2. That's the pitch Joe was talking about. Fastball misses. The 2-2 breaking ball is high. Blocked it.
Garcia and the Yankees believing even though it was a breaking ball, it was still too high. And now batting for Aaron Boone is Ruben Sierra.
There's a lot to be said, Joe, for the points you brought up earlier. The way the ball is received, how softly it's received. And Rodriguez, as good as there is.
Ruben Sierra now the tying run at the plate, takes a blazer, 96 miles per hour, strike 1. A leadoff double by Posada. He has not budged. A changeup to make it 0-2. Sierra with that 2-out 2-run triple in the 9th inning in Game 4. Tied it. He's out in front here. Another changeup, and it's still 0-2. This game is only in the 7th. The Yankees got a leadoff double. Giambi did not pull Beckett, advance the runner. Garcia struck out. And it's 0-2 on Ruben Sierra. Inning over. Another strikeout for Josh Beckett. The 23-year-old on 3 days rest, rolling in Game 6. Marlins lead in the series, lead in the game, 2-0. Andy Pettitte is finished, went 7, allowed 2 runs, 1 earned. That's it. 6 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, but it's the pitching of Josh Beckett that is the difference tonight. Sierra stays in the game. He's in right. Enrique Wilson comes into the game to take over for Aaron Boone defensively. He's at 3rd and batting 7th. And here's Mariano Rivera trying to just keep it a 2-0 game. But this time it's his team that's on the short end. Conine hits it foul outside third. It's 0-2.
Joe Torre telling us before the game tonight that he hopes Mariano Rivera's tongue is hanging out after tomorrow night's game. Kidding, of course, because if he gets that out of Rivera, he knows that the Yankees would have a chance to win tomorrow night. But right now, tough hill to climb. That's understating it.
No balls, 2 strikes. Conine hits it back to Rivera. 1 out. Conine 0 for 4 tonight. And we asked the Sprint Virtual Manager question, is it a disadvantage pitching with 3 days rest in the World Series? 52% of you say no, and the work done by Josh Beckett tonight would support it. 3 days rest. Tim mentioned over the last 5 postseasons, starters going on 3 days rest, 6-20 with an ERA of 5.93. But Josh Beckett isn't in that pool. Josh Beckett has gone 7, allowed no runs on 4 hits, and struck out 9. Two and 0. Steve Lyons.
Hey guys, Marlins owner Jeffrey Loria, when he comes to the ballpark here in Yankee Stadium, doesn't sit behind home plate with Billy Crystal or Sarah Jessica Parker. He sits in the seats that he's owned here since 1997. His own seats that he keeps for himself and his family. Incidentally, he said he took a lot of heat about those striped shirts that he was wearing in Florida. So he said he's going to go a little more conventional now and see if they can nail this thing down in Game 6 here in New York.
Steve, thanks. 2 balls and a strike on the hitter Lowell. So when the Yankees sent out the bills for postseason tickets, Loria sent in his money, and little did he know, his Marlins would be here playing the Yankees, and tonight he'd be sitting there with a chance to see his Marlins win the World Series. 3 balls and a strike now from Rivera to Mike Lowell. Hard hit off the glove of Enrique Wilson, and Mike Lowell is on with 1 out here in the 8th.
Third time of the night that Mike Lowell has been on. A tough play for Wilson. He does keep it on the infield, off the heel of the glove. Has not been scored yet, but a very difficult play. Even if he comes up with it, I don't think he throws Lowell out, and it has properly, in my view, and scored a hit.
So 1 on, 1 out for Derek Lee. Rivera misses inside, ball 1. Lee 0 for 3 tonight. It was Derek Lee's bunt back to Andy Pettit in the 6th inning with 2 on and nobody out. That will cause a lot of conversation after tonight's game. It was bunted hard back to Pettit. Instead of flipping it over to third base to get the lead runner, he went to second base. Here's the bunt. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Yankees were down 1-0 at the time, and instead of going to third, he went to second. Yankees could not turn the double play. It ended up first and third, and what followed, a sac fly to right by Encarnacion to make it 2-0. So the visit by Stottlemyre is finished. We'll tell you the new MLB Authentic Collection, performance batting practice jerseys, and caps are here. Now anyone can get them. Just visit MLB.com. 2 balls, no strikes on Derek Lee. One.
Little capper on that bunt play the last time Derek Lee was up. If the Yankees were thinking about double play, Lee runs too well to be doubled on a ball like that. Too much to do. But once again, the play was to third base.
On the inside corner, 2-2. Runner goes. That's foul. Since 1982, 8 times a team has come home down 3 games to 2. And 7 of those 8 times the home team has come back to win games 6 and 7. Up 3 games to 2. The Marlins lead here in game 6, 2-0 in the 8th. Lee strikes out, 2 out.
Going after a ball, but it's very difficult to determine whether it's a strike or a ball against Rivera. Ball is on top of you in a hurry. What an odd situation to see Mariano Rivera out there with the score 2-0 against the Yankees.
The Yankees in the bottom of this 8th will have Soriano, Jeter, and Nick Johnson. If anybody gets on, Bernie Williams. The bullpen for the Marlins is quiet, as you would expect, the way Josh Beckett is pitching. Encarnacion takes a ball. A sac fly for Encarnacion back in the 6th. One ball, 1 strike. Andy Pettitte threw 106 pitches while he was in there. Allowed only 1 earned run in 7 innings. That's to the shortstop, Jeter. Flip to Soriano, and game 6 goes to the bottom of the 8th. The Marlins trying to win it all here tonight. Lead behind Josh Beckett, 2-0. Coming into this game, the Yankees were hitting .275 as a team in this World Series. However, with runners on, only .195. Tonight with runners on, 0 for 10. Soriano first up, base hit, and a good start to the 8th inning for New York.
So you say, but it was a good start to the 7th inning for New York when they doubled. But now they've got the different part of the lineup with Jeter, Johnson, and Bernie Williams. The 8th inning was the inning that the Yankees tied the Boston Red Sox 9 days ago. They scored 3 in the 8th. They won it in the 11th.
Jeter 0 for 3. Action starts for the Marlins out in their bullpen. It's Jeter now, Nick Johnson on deck. It's the rookie Dontrelle Willis getting loose. We've talked about Jeffrey Loria as Wayne Rosenthal, the pitching coach, comes out to talk. Jeffrey Loria wanted to make a change in May. At one point, this Marlins team was 10 games under the 500 mark. It was the traveling secretary, Bill Beck, who at one point was an assistant general manager for Jack McKeon in San Diego, who said, you want a guy who's turned around a few franchises? There's a guy in North Carolina playing with his grandkids. Jack McKeon, look at his track record. Look at what he did in Kansas City. Look at what he did in San Diego. Look at what he did in Cincinnati. From May 23rd on, this Marlins team put together the best record in baseball. They're 6 defenders away from winning the World Series. But the Yankees have the right bats coming up. Jeter hammering after a 2-0 pitch. Urbina and Dontrell Willis. Full count. 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Beckett as he approaches the 100 pitch mark.
Because of the hitter, I think you send the runner here. Jeter is a guy who makes contact. Soriano with great speed. The one thing you can't be is picked off in this situation.
Jeter hits it in the air to center for Juan Pierre. Now 0 for 11 with runners on of the Yankees here in Game 6. 1 on, 1 out, and Nick Johnson coming up.
And Soriano wasn't running then. It's a moot point since Jeter flies out. Perhaps Joe Torre wanted Jeter to get a good look at it. He did, hit it fairly well, but hauled in by Pierre.
Nick Johnson has hit only 1 home run the entire postseason and 14 during the regular season. He has 5 hits and 16 at bats in this World Series. Tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. Ball 1.
Beckett lost his footing around the mound. That ball stayed up and away, and now Josh doing a little gardening. Watch him slip. It appeared his left foot. Yep, his left foot almost came out from under him. And he completed the pitch, so a balk wasn't called.
Fastball for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bernie Williams waits to hit next. Ground ball, Castillo, it comes up for him. 4-6-3 double play. And Beckett and the Marlins are through 8. We go to the 9th inning of Game 6. Marlins up 3 games to 2. They lead it 2-0. Mariano Rivera deals inside a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And in a very quiet Yankee Stadium, we are underway in the 9th inning of Game 6. Ball 1 from Rivera. Gonzalez got on with a 2-out hit back in the 5th inning and scored on a 2-out RBI by Luis Castillo. And Wayne Rosenthal, with intense instruction and I'm sure encouragement for Josh Beckett, as they are quiet now in the Marlin bullpen. That's into left center field off the bat of Gonzalez and caught by Bernie Williams. You look at a graphic of the most world championships, professional sports all time. The Yankees with 26. The Florida Marlins are in their 11th season. They won it in '97. They gutted the team the next year, and they are back as the wild card entry in the National League. With one out, Pierre takes the ball. Florida trying to become the third wild card team to win it all in the last 7 years. They battled the Philadelphia Phillies in September and ended up 4 games better than Houston as that bunt rolls foul. And they won the wild card. They have never finished first, yet they are 3 defensive outs away from their second world championship. The Yankees in the bottom of the 9th inning will have the heart of their lineup: Bernie Williams, Hideki Matsui, and Jorge Posada. Tonight 0 for 12 with runners on are the Yankees at the plate against Josh Beckett. One and two. Just able to get a piece on an awkward swing is Juan Pierre.
That has almost become a routine swing against Rivera by left-handed batters who just chews you up inside.
Struck out for only the 3rd time this postseason, his last time up. There's Pierre again, just getting a piece of it. You think about these Marlins in the division series. Game 2, they were down 4-1 in the 5th inning to San Francisco. They came back to win it. Game 3, down 3-2. Came back to win in the 11th inning. That is a bunt foul, and that's a strikeout. 2 out.
So Pierre, futile in trying to hit that cutter inside, fouls it off, and he's a strikeout.
NLCS, the Marlins were down 4-0 after 1 inning in Game 1 at Chicago. Came back to win that game 9, 8, and 11 innings on the home run by Lowell off the bench. Down 3-0 in the 8th inning, Game 6. They came back with 8 in the 8th. Lost a lead, then fought back. Took the lead in Game 7 and hung on. Josh Beckett throwing 4 innings in Game 7 that night in Chicago. And now Beckett and these Marlins lead 2-0 in the 9th inning of Game 6. Castillo lines to Jeter, and that sets the stage for the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees fighting, trying to make this series continue tomorrow night. The Marlins 3 outs away from a World Series title behind Beckett, leading 2-0 here at Yankee Stadium. Josh Beckett back to work. And what work he has given this Marlins team. The franchise, their fans here tonight in Game 6. Pitching on 3 days rest. Out there with a chance to finish what he started tonight with Williams, Matsui, and Posada. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. They talk about the ghosts of Yankee Stadium. All the magic under Joe Torre. And many years before Joe Torre. Do they have anything left? Ball 1. 100 pitches on the night for Beckett. To the right side and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The last 1+ innings, the Yankees have hit the ball better against Beckett than they did at any other time. Even the fly ball by Jeter, the double play ball by Johnson, and the single by Soriano. Well struck.
Williams goes the opposite way, and it's Cabrera. Back to get it 1 out. The Marlins are 2 outs away. Matsui walks in. There have been 18 complete game shutouts in clinch games in World Series history. The last one you were there, 1991, and Jack Morris.
10-inning game won by Gene Larkin with the outfield and infield drawn in the 10th inning.
Strike 1 on the outside corner to Matsui.
And the Metrodome in Minneapolis went bananas.
Matsui into left field. Cabrera back a few, 2 out. Now the Marlins are 1 out away. Josh Beckett 1 out away from what is right now a 5-hit shutout. Jorge Posada, the last hope for the Yankees here in the 9th inning, trying to extend it. If he can, Giambi waits to hit next. Incredible ride for this Florida Marlin franchise since they came in '93. Swinging at the first pitch and fouling it back. Posada, strike 1.
May have been ball 1 too. We talked about it many times about taking that first pitch when you're down by more than 1 in the 9th inning. Non-existent in this day and age.
Two out, bases empty. Josh Beckett. 1 ball, 1 strike. The exuberance of being an expansion franchise in '93, winning it in '97, gutting the team the next season. They've had only 2 winning seasons, '97 and 2003. Trying to win it all again. Posada, slow roller right side. Beckett picks it up, tags Posada, and the Florida Marlins are world champions. The Marlins have stunned the Yankees, shocked New York, and this improbable team, improbable ride, they end up on top, winning in 6 games over the Yankees.
And all that's left in this historic stadium is ghostly silence.
The Marlins celebrate in the middle of the field, and in the middle of that celebration is Josh Beckett. And what an incredible performance here tonight. They talk about 3 days rest. Jack McKeon said, we are going for it in Game 6. We're not going to wait around. They hand the ball to Beckett, and the 23-year-old took care of the rest.
He's one of the big reasons they were in the World Series, and one of the big reasons they won the World Series.
A 5-hit shutout. And that stunned look all over Yankee Stadium. Whether it's Brian Cashman, the general manager, or the Yankees that still remain in the dugout, it's the Florida Marlins that end up winning it. And for the first time since 1981, a series ends here at Yankee Stadium, and it's not the Yankees who win it. Jack McKeon, the 72-year-old manager, Dontrell Willis, those two guys injected life into this franchise in mid-May. Jack McKeon winning his first championship ever, and it comes after getting a call to his home in North Carolina, playing with the grandkids, and he said, what the heck, we'll take a shot, and he turned this franchise around.
It went from playing with the grandkids to managing the kids in Florida.
Take a couple more shots.
A historic performance by Josh Beckett. And how did it end? With a ball in his glove. It was all in his hands tonight. And the tag of Jorge Posada, Beckett, and the Marlins are world champions. Ivan Rodriguez, how many times with the Rangers had he been frustrated by the Yankees? Juan Pierre sprinting in to join the celebration. Let's go down to Steve Lyons. Steve.
All right, guys, with Pudge Rodriguez down here. Pudge, you signed a one-year deal with this contract. Is there any way you could have known what would happen when you signed that deal?
Well, you know, I just came here to do my best, and we work hard in spring training, you know, day in and day out, you know, since the morning, and pay off tonight. You know, this is a great series. You know, the Yankees a great team, and you know, but we play better.
Talk about what Josh Beckett did tonight, the kind of adjustments you guys had to make coming back on 3 days rest. It looked like he threw a few less changeups until later on in the ballgame.
Well, you know, Josh throwing a great game. I told him in the car, you're going to pitch a hell of a game tonight, and he did it. You know, he got a great fastball today, good changeup, good breaking ball, and man, you know, he did a great job.
I know you need to take a little bit of time and enjoy this, but what uniform are you going to be wearing next year?
I don't know. I'm going to enjoy this moment, you know. I wait 12 years to get into this position right here, and I did it finally. Thank Jesus.
All right, congratulations. You're a world champion. Tim, Joe.
Steve, thanks. And I know you have the utmost respect for the job that Ivan Rodriguez did behind the plate, leading this young pitching staff, guiding them through the playoffs. At the age of 31, he has taken that next step, and he is the leader that these Marlins were looking for on the field, providing so much for Jack McKeon's club.
A man who, with the Texas Rangers, had lost 9 out of 10 to Joe Torre's Yankees. And speaking of Joe Torre's Yankees, what was made public between Joe Torre, George Steinbrenner, all year long. Don Zimmer telling us before the game he will not return next year as Joe Torre's lieutenant, saying that the reason, George Steinbrenner.
Don Zimmer has been the right-hand man for Joe Torre since Joe Torre got here in 1996. Frustrated with the way that he has been treated around here. And he has said, I know he told you before the game, he's not retiring.
That's right.
He wanted to make that clear, but he will not be back on the bench with Joe Torre.
Saying that he wanted to be treated like a human being over the last 10 months, and he has not been, and that's why he will not be returning in a Yankee uniform.
Steve Lyons is standing by with more. Steve?
All right, with Jeff Conine. And Jeff, you're the only member that was here in 97. You're back for this one. How much sweeter is this one?
I don't know. They're all sweet, but you come into a house like this and watch a performance like Josh Beckett gave tonight is just, it's unbelievable. It really is.
You've called this clubhouse a bunch of young, crazy, off-the-wall guys, but is this the most fun you've ever had?
Ever. Most fun ever. I mean, even today, just on the bus ride in here, we're joking and cutting it up in the clubhouse, and these guys just don't know pressure, and they showed it tonight.
everybody talks so much about what Jack McKeon was able to do when he took over this club, but for the stretch run was the same time that you came back to this club. Tell us a little bit about the influence you had on this team down the stretch.
Well, I struggled at first couple of weeks I was here. I struggled pretty badly. But, you know, we started playing the Phillies when it really started counting for the wild card. And I was so happy that I could make contributions to the team to help us get there. And then just, you know, it's just a total team effort. This team, everybody chipped in.
All right, congratulations. You're probably feeling like a kid yourself now. All right, guys, back to you.
An emotional time for these Yankees. Tears in the dugout on the New York side, and tears of joy for the Florida Marlins. This for the second time as they play in their 11th season. The Florida Marlins and their fans can celebrate a World Series title. The Taco Bell postgame show is coming up on the other side of this break. South Florida celebrating. In 6 games, the Marlins defeat the Yankees 4 games to 2. Back with more after this. Welcome back to the Taco Bell post-game show here at Yankee Stadium, and live with Joe Torre is Kevin Kennedy.
Thanks, Joe. Joe, this is a very emotional game, obviously an emotional postseason altogether, going back to Game 7 with the Red Sox. What did you see to your ball club inside?
Well, I just thanked them. I mean, they left their hearts out in the field. Andy Pettit pitched a terrific game, but Josh Beckett was that much better. I mean, that kid showed that he's going to be a great one down the road if he's not there already.
Don Zimmer said this is your greatest job of managing with all the scrutiny and the pressure that you've gone through. And Don has told us prior to the game that he won't be back. Give me your feelings on that.
Well, hopefully when emotions quiet down and, this thing is a few days old or a couple of weeks old, we can talk about it. But the 8 years I've been here, we wouldn't have been as successful, without Zim. I mean, he gave me a lot of experience that I didn't have going into this thing. And it's tough. I mean, it was an emotional year, and as I say, this game, everybody busted their tail. We had a couple of opportunities, and, nobody let up.
How about the performance of the Marlins? Everybody found out in the world what this club is all about. They've been resilient from the wild card to the beating the Cubs and the Giants, and then finally getting to you guys.
Yeah, they certainly didn't surprise anybody because, you had a chance to witness what they did against San Francisco and going into Chicago's Wrigley Field and doing what they did. So we certainly were aware of what kind of heart they have, and I want to congratulate Jack McKeon. I mean, he did a great job making these kids believe in themselves, and he waited a long time. I thought I waited a long time. He waited a lot longer.
Joe, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck. Jeannie, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, the wild ride for the wild card Marlins ends right here. I'm surrounded by Jeffrey Loria. We have David Sampson, Larry Beinfest, Joel Mail, and Jack McKeon. Congratulations. And, oh, yeah, the Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig, with a lovely parting gift, I might add.
Thank you very much, Jeannie. Well, Jeff, Larry, Jack, David, it is my pleasure to present the Commissioner's Trophy to the 2003 World Champion Florida Marlins. A wonderful job, well done, Jack. The best record in Major League Baseball since May 15th. To all those wonderful fans in South Florida and to all of the entire organization, congratulations. You are the world champions.
Jeffrey, I just have to ask you.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah, you got it. You can respond.
I'd like to first say something about this trophy, which belongs in great part to our team. The magical ride that they gave the fans of South Florida has been incredible. We have an incredible organization, starting with Jack and everyone in our organization. The fans of South Florida have been terrific. And finally, I would like to thank the Yankees for their hospitality and the incredible challenge that they put up. They are a class organization.
And what a fight your team put up. You traveled through a land of giants. You survived a curse, corralled a goat, stared Mystique and Aura right in the face. Incredible that you're standing here. Maybe one of the best-kept secrets in baseball this season, but you saw this coming.
Well, we thought in spring training we had a pretty good team, and it seemed to have worked out for us.
When you left Montreal, though, could you have imagined this?
I don't even want to think about that. I just want to think about today and the excitement that these players have brought all our fans and all of baseball.
Okay, why don't we grab Jack McKeon up here if we can get him back up here, the big hug. Actually, Jack is escorting Josh Beckett up to the stage. 2003 World Series. Josh, if you have a moment, the Commissioner of Baseball has a few words for you.
Well, Josh, I want to congratulate you. You've been selected very obviously as the most valuable player in the 2003 World Series. And your accomplishments are remarkable. You're the youngest pitcher to win in the last 18 years. First pitcher to pitch a complete game since Jack Morris did it. And your achievements were truly outstanding. Congratulations on a very well-deserved Most Valuable Player award.
Thank you. Incredible postseason, incredible World Series for Josh Beckett, who seemingly came out of nowhere. So much made out of 3 days rest. Watching you tonight, I felt confident you could go tomorrow if you had to.
You know, it's all part of conditioning, and I think I conditioned myself well enough to come back and compete on 3 days rest, and I was just fortunate enough. You know, God blessed me with one last good game for the year, and you know, here it is. And this is a tribute to my teammates and Pudge. She did a great job today, and my manager Jack pushing us all year. So this is just for my team.
All right, congratulations. Let's get your manager up here, shall we? We're talking about retirement. I think it's safe to say you've retired the Yankees for 2003.
Well, it was a great series. The Yankees are a great ball club, and you know, Josh Beckett did a tremendous job despite the fact that he did it on 3 days rest.
Are we still talking about that?
I'm not. I said he could do it. A lot of people doubted it, but maybe they'll be quiet.
I think they'll
for a
let
while.
you go on this one now. The second guessing will stop for going from on 3 days rest.
Yeah.
All right, as we second guess your future, everyone knows that your contractual status. I think you're out of work right now, quite honestly.
Well,
but what's the future hold for you?
I don't know, really. I just want to say I want to thank my players and my coaches and the organization. They did a tremendous job. These guys are special, and how could you leave a group of guys like this? They're just wonderful people. They did an outstanding job. And look at that. They all want to give us some music.
Yeah, the party is starting. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll send it from down here in the winning clubhouse. Back up to you, Joe.
All right, Jeannie, thank you very much. Mike Whitty has been joining us and shows us the cartoons that he put together for tonight's game. Beckett Play earns rave reviews. A fish flood here in New York. Mike Whitty, thank you so much for joining us during this 2003 World Series. Fish, splash, and a celebration in South Florida. With less than one-third the payroll, behind 72, manager Jack McKeon. They keep talking about the magic with Joe Torre and the New York Yankees. Well, this year, Jack McKeon and the Marlins had the magic. They got past the Giants, the Cubs, and now the Yankees. We'll continue with more on our Taco Bell post-game show after this break.